Report unusual behavior. Barricade your homes. Avoid all contact with infected individuals. Wait for official instructions. Wait my ass.
Kill all sons of bitches. That's my official instructions.
Many video games have been around since the establishment of the survival horror video game genre, but no other video game captures the dread, fear, and overwhelming feeling of hopelessness better than Left 4 Dead 2 does. Left 4 Dead 2 is an exciting video game that takes cooperative survival horror to new heights, areas where other video games fail to explore. It excels in almost every aspect but falls flat in a few small areas that prevents it from being the best game it has the potential to be. Left 4 Dead 2 is the sequel to Valve Corporation's Left 4 Dead video game series, first released in 2009. Players play as either one of the survivors or as a member of the undead in the form of special infected. The objective of the survivors is to reach safety, while the objective of the undead is to obviously stop them. Left 4 Dead 2's story takes place across 5 beautifully designed campaign maps. Each map feels thoroughly thought out. There are just enough hints for the player to figure out where they need to go, but not so many hints that it feels like the game is guiding them in the right path. The maps are filled with small, intricate details that give hints as to how the zombie outbreak took place. Posters labeled "Seek Shelter" or "Maintain a Positive State of Mind" from the fictitious health organization CEDA helps keep the game feel realistic. The 4 survivors, Rochelle, Coach, Nick, and Ellis, speak to each other throughout the campaign, which helps to develop the story and deepen our understanding of each character. Chris Waters, a review at GameSpot, states that this new crop is more lively and talkative than the first bunch, and Ellis' good old boy stories about crazy stuff that he and his buddy Keith did one time are bound to make you chuckle. The sound design in Left 4 Dead 2 is well engineered, giving life to the player's weapons as well as the undead. Each shotgun blast is satisfying. It makes the player feel as if the weapon they are holding in their hands is actually capable of ripping the zombie in front of them into shreds. This is such an important aspect of the video game because the weapons need to feel realistic and powerful, which Left 4 Dead 2 captures extremely well. The moans of the undead, as well as the special infected, can be heard from a mile away. Each grumble, grunt, or groan of the undead sends shivers down players' spines as they feel the enemy getting a bead on their location. If ranged weapons don't suit a player's fancy, there are a wide array of melee weapons as well, such as an axe, a katana, and even an electric guitar, each with their own gruesome killing animations. Players can hear their own heartbeat when their character gets overrun by zombies. The accuracy of their weapon deteriorates and they fire slower and slower, as their vision gets more and more blurry until they finally die. All these sound design elements are presented in an excellent package. It truly brings life to the dead. Both the humans and undead are playable in Left 4 Dead 2 in the form of special infected units. This asymmetrical battlefield is what keeps the game interesting and changes up the gameplay every time. Survivors get ranged weapons, melee weapons, first aid kits, pain pills, and other tools of the trade to ensure their survival and help them get them to safety. The undead, or those who are infected on the other hand, do not get these benefits. Instead, they have the ability to see through walls, which adds an additional element to the game, since one team can see the location of the enemies but the other team cannot. The undead come with a class of special infected, such as the Hunter and the Boomer. The Hunter is silent and can jump long distances in order to pounce on survivors who stray too far from their team. The Boomer is an obese infected who has the ability to vomit, yes, vomit, zombie-attracted bile onto the bodies of the survivors. The afflicted survivors lose their vision and are often forced to shoot their weapon randomly in order to ward off the attack of the zombies attracted to the Boomer bile. Charles Onyed of IGN describes one of the many available strategies for the zombies. If your infected team is working together, you can time Boomer bile attacks with jockey jumps and spitter attacks so large groups of common zombies are attacking, while one survivor stumbles under a jockey's control and the rest are slowly dying in a pool of acid. These different classes of zombies and the different strategies with each one is what helped keeps Left 4 Dead 2 keep its replay value. The graphics and smoothness of the game is also top-notch. Left 4 Dead 2 runs on the Source engine, which allows for fast-paced gameplay, even with many things happening on the screen at once. The game also looks better, thanks to the daytime setting of most areas that lets the light better illuminate the level of detail, and also because of the zombies' animations. The droves of undead look lifelike, sprinting and stumbling with an authenticity that might even be scary if you weren't caving in their foreheads with frying pans and cricket bats. Players can see the details that the developers put into the game, such as the engravings on the players' guns, or the bloodstains on the shirts of the undead. These graphical elements work together to immerse players into the world, making it ultimately scarier and more realistic. For all its good features though, there are some areas where Left 4 Dead 2 falls flat. Most noticeably, the game lacks any real single-player story. Players are immersed into a multiplayer environment almost immediately and are forced to learn how to keep up with the new zombies. The learning curve of the game is quite high, which can be a turnoff to more casual players looking to delve into this new genre. The game also falters on its tension and pacing somewhat. Campaigns can feel long and drawn out, with zombie placement often in awkward positions, such as in a closet, as if that particular zombie was waiting for a human to wander by all this time. There are minor graphical issues in some areas of the campaign, and there are also a few minor glitches that take away from the atmosphere of the game, most notably the undead being stuck to walls and chasing the survivors aimlessly. These glitches are usually more humorous than they are damaging to the game though. The difficulty levels scale tremendously as well, with expert mode making the survivors extremely fragile. Survivors can take only around 2 or 3 strikes from the undead before they become a member themselves. In the big picture, however, these are small problems. However, with a game that is so polished in all its other areas, it's difficult to ignore some of the small issues that keep the game from being perfect. Left 4 Dead 2 is a solid game that defines the cooperative survival horror genre. Though plenty of other games offer cooperative gameplay against mobs of computer-controlled foes, no other game emphasizes teamwork as strongly as this, and few other games are as satisfying when you're able to pull through successfully, particularly when competing against other players. If you're someone who doesn't enjoy zombie horror shooting games, then you probably won't enjoy Left 4 Dead 2. But if you're someone who even has a remote interest in destroying zombies and putting the undead to rest, then Left 4 Dead 2 is a worthy investment of your time and money. Reloading! Few games exhibit such attention to detail and quality gameplay like this game does. It is an extremely distinctive multiplayer game that is fun, exciting, and scary.